One of our groups wanted to, they were saving milk cartons. I don't necessarily think that's a great idea. They get stinky, and I think there are other things we can use instead, but there are other things. You can take cans, and kids love cans. You can take, because they can roll with them. You can use a can, an old soup can, as a roller. You don't have to give them a rolling pin or your good rolling pin that you use, because that's going to be too big for them anyway. But a soup can is perfect, and you can use one that's unopened, or you can take an open one and then take some duct tape and put it around the edges, and they can use it as a cut and a press. Cookie cutters are a wonderful thing to have in a basket. So if like I said with my daughter, if you had like a Play-Doh set, so you've got a few cans of Play-Doh, throw in some cookie cutters, some toothpicks, some spoons from your kitchen, some things like that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be fancy, and it will be fine. Wax paper is great, or another thing that's really good for that, those little, they're almost disposable, they're thin cutting boards, and they're flexible. You buy them in packs of like 3 or 4 at the grocery store. They're wonderful, and they'll save your tabletops, because Play-Doh does have dyes in it that will leach into stuff. So this is a wonderful thing. You can wash it off, throw it in the dishwasher. It's great. As with make-believe, children need considerable amounts of time. So it's not the kind of thing that you can say, okay, I got 10 minutes here, let's do Play-Doh. Kids need to go through the imaginative process. It doesn't happen overnight. At first they'll start playing, and then they'll fatigue, and then they need you to kind of be their playmate and to give them some ideas, and then you back away, they do some more, you back away. They need you sort of there. Kids can't play really well all by themselves. Continuity is also important. If a construction is incomplete at the end of playtime, you might want to leave the structure there, the block structure there, until the next day. So if you really like your living room to be sort of perfect, you might want this block structure to be not in your living room, but to be someplace else, so that the kids can go back to it. And sometimes these things need to go on. If we looked at some of these things that we were doing, like the blocks that the kids had made, that doesn't happen in a day. That's something that takes days to do. So put it in an area where it's not going to cause disruption to the whole family. It may be challenging from an adult perspective or from home decor, but it helps your children build a very important skill called persistence, to see something through to its logical end. And that's an academic skill that they desperately need by the middle of kindergarten. When kids say to you things like, "That's boring and I don't like it," that's a code word for "it's too hard." And our role in that is to back off, take some of the responsibility out of the task, step in and be a larger play partner with the children, and let them do it so that they can be successful at it, or they won't come back to it. It's really our role at that point, and our role is to monitor, because if kids are saying, "I don't like that, that's boring," that's really a code for "it's too hard." And I don't know why, but I have looked at kids for 30 years and have observed this over and over in children. If they tell you that it's boring or they don't like it, it just means it's too hard. So that's our role, is to jump in and be a more participatory partner in play.